My name is Max Baker, spelled M-A-X-B-A-K-E-R.
All right, Max, tell the jury what your level of education is.
This year, I graduated with a bachelor's degree from Indiana University in Law and Public Policy.
Okay, and are you employed right now?
I am.
Okay, and who do you work for?
You.
All right, and just tell the jury generally how long you've worked for me.
About 2 years.
And could you give the jury some context in terms of what you've done for me over the last 2 years at work?
Well, it's basically just been a legal internship. I've worked on a variety of cases doing stuff like serving subpoenas, generating documents, kind of clerical.
Okay, and has one of your primary responsibilities kind of evolved into this case?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and how long have you been working on this case?
Since November of 2022, basically.
Okay, and did you hear the testimony of Trooper Harshman yesterday?
Yes.
Trooper Harshman testified that he had reviewed over 700 phone calls, I think generally, and then I don't know what he said, probably hundreds of hours of video, tablet messages, those kinds of things. Did you hear all that?
Yes.
Okay, have you been doing similar things kind of for the defense, so to speak, in this case?
Yes.
Are you familiar with most of those of the video from Westville?
Yes.
Okay, and are you familiar with most of the phone calls from Westville?
Yes.
And so, have you become aware during the course of this case that Rick Allen's mental state has been kind of an issue?
Judge, I'm gonna object. It's a leading question.
Sustained.
Did you become aware during the course of this case that Mr. Allen's mental state was in question?
Objection, Judge. Leading question.
Sustained.
Did I ask you to compile some video from Westville to assist the jury in understanding the environmental conditions that Mr. Allen was enduring while he was there?
Judge, objection. Leading question.
I'm just asking him.
Overruled. That one's not leading.
Did I ask you to do that?
Yes, you did.
Okay, and just explain to the jury, if you would. I'm just trying to get into context again how it was that we acquired the information that you reviewed, the Westville video.
It was served to us in the discovery for this case.
Okay, we got it from the state?
Yeah.
Okay, and in terms of the video that you've compiled, explain to the jury kind of how you've compiled it. What format is the video in?
Okay. So yeah, there's two main video formats. The first is what I refer to as the camcorder footage. This is the footage of Richard being taken from his cell, being taken to shower and medical and stuff along those lines. So when he's outside of the presence of the security camera in his cell, one of the guards will hold a camcorder and kind of follow him around and record everything else that's going on. And then, the other part of it is that security camera footage from inside the cell.
Okay, so with the movement video, or what we call the camcorder video, does that have both video and audio?
Yes.
Okay, and then, is the what we call the in-cell video, you call it the security video, is that different?
Yeah. That does not have any audio.
Okay, now, was it given to us without audio?
Yes, yeah.
In other words, we didn't take the audio out. That's just the way it was created?
Yeah, no, I did not do that.
Okay, and is there any dispute about whether or not it was intentionally removed, or do you just believe there just was no audio?
My best guess is that that security camera does not pick up audio to begin with.
Okay, all right. We're not accusing anybody of tampering with it, or anything.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all.
Okay, and did you compile? Let's talk about the movement video. Did you compile a set of videos in this case, and basically put them on this thumb drive for me?
Yes, I did.
All right. Can you just tell the jury, number one, generally what time frame you believe most of these videos would have occurred?
So the videos, we did not receive them with any specific timestamp for.
Okay, so November of 22 to December of 23 are the bookends?
Yeah.
So, with certainty, You can only say it's between those times, right?
Yes.
Is the video that's on here? Are there? Can you look at the files and see when the files were at least modified or somebody had accessed the file?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And is that kind of helpful also in maybe determining more closely when the videos were created?
Yeah. It puts at least like an endpoint, you know. A video can't be modified before it was made, so you know that, at least, came after.
Okay. And so then there's a second set of videos, which is an in-cell video, right?
Yes.
And are those also on this thumb drive?
Yes, they are.
And just to give the jury some context, how is the video generally? That's on this thumb drive. How is it generally? What's on here from a chronological?
From a chronological standpoint, there are videos detailing. I'm fairly certain it's 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. of the 15th of every day of every month Richard Allen was at Westville that we received in-cell security video for. The idea with that was to be consistent and pick one day that we have available for each month and just kind of show one selection of time from that day, on that day each month, so you can kind of see a progression of Rick's mental state. And then I also gathered video from April, May, June, July, that, you know, kind of coincides with what I would describe as the climax of Rick's mental state.
So the April, May, June, and July video, is that more consistent with like the things that Dr. Walla was reporting in the exhibits the state put in? That time frame?
Yeah, it's based off of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got kind of a nice chunk chronologically from the time he was admitted to maybe end of July. And then there's some more detailed dates when some of these behaviors that were described earlier were exhibited in the cell?
Yes, yeah.
All right. May I approach, Judge?
You may.
I don't really need to approach with a thumb drive, I guess. But this thumb drive marked as XX, is this the thumb drive that has those two sets of videos on it?
Yes.
I move to admit XX, Judge. And I have a couple of master sheets that I don't want to take credit for it. That Max has prepared. Exhibit YY. May I approach the witness with these two exhibits, Your Honor?
You may.
Before I ask for permission with XX? Max, tell the jury what exhibit YY and ZZ is.
So just for, to be detailed and to make sure this is all, understandable, I made a sheet that details what each video is entitled and the file name that we received from the state, the date that file was modified, so, the only kind of information I have available about when it could have been made, and the length of the video and time, basically.
Okay, and so that is YY, right?
Yes.
And just to be clear, YY only pertains to the movement or the camcorder video, which is out of cell.
Yes, yeah.
And then what is ZZ?
Yeah. ZZ is the same concept, but for the in-cell video. In this one, it would have the date, because I actually have the dates for the in-cell security footage, and then it would have the selection of time and what I refer to as real time, which is the time that is occurring in the day in the cell. So when you get these files in their native format, there's a slider at the bottom that tells you kind of when this is all occurring in a day. And, to make these videos digestible, we decided to kind of condense them and speed up the video.
So do you believe that these two exhibits would be helpful for the jury in kind of following along as we play the video over the next few days or the next week or so?
Yeah.
Was that the intention of creating them?
Yes, that was.
And to give the court a guide to also assist?
Yes. Nomar Farazi, I move to admit XX, YY, and ZZ. Defendants exhibits XX, YY, and ZZ offered.
Judge, can we have a sidebar, please?
Sure.
Sidebar conference conducted.
Judge, I'll object on relevance.
Judge, first of all, obviously, Mr. Harshman himself came in here and provided opinion testimony that was based on his review of 700 phone calls. I think he said hundreds of hours of video. He may have said more. Forgive me, I forget the raw number, tablet messages, all of the things that.
And so the only thing inaudible?
Max's testimony is that, number one, the video itself, there's no timestamps on it, but he testified that he believes that these generally occurred in this April, May, June, and July period. And if you low OK at the dates modified on the master list, You can see that those are in those time frames, but it's also relevant. Any video at any time that he was at Westville is relevant because he began to endure those conditions in November of 2022.
So the time frame for all of these was April, May, June, and July. That's the extent of the camcording.
Well,
Or you don't know the time frame.
I believe it's near those time frames, again, because there's no timestamps on them. So, we're working with the information we have. You can see when they were modified by either the DOC or the state, and I didn't bring.
What do you mean by modified?
Like when they're pulling them off their system.
Inaudible.
We've also stipulated to the foundation.
I can handle foundation, but inaudible testified that implied we don't know when that was. I know that we had trouble inaudible. The same thing we had with the pictures. They can't establish a time that the conditions that are being entered. I don't even know. I also have concerns about the other statements and their relevance. I have it not viewed.
I offered these up to the state weeks ago. I delivered all this to him. And again, this is our case in chief, not a rebuttal issue.
No, I understand.
And so I think his environment from November of 22 all the way to the end is pertinent. I don't know that. We know that it's within the bookend periods, cause he's at Westville.
And I understand the point that you advance and that you want to make to this jury is that the conditions were inaudible, so the conditions could lead, or the conditions led to untrue confessions. So I don't have any problem with you using the video as long as you can link it to the timeframes that relevant to the statements he made.
Well, but we're saying that the environmental conditions that he endured from the beginning.
So you want to start in November until now?
Well, that's the period of relevancy, I believe. But we have tried to pluck out only the ones from April, May, June, and July. There's a lot of them really, but we tried to plunk those out.
So how many hours of video are we talking about in this XX video offering?
There's about, raw video, there's about 2 hours. I think there's about 20 clips. I have the numbers over there.
So you'd be showing the jury 2 hours of silent video?
No, we're talking about the camcorder video.
I asked you about...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Video, not the audio, but the video that shows him in his cell.
Oh, in-cell video. Can I go get my notes?
Yeah.
Judge, so this is the master list for the in-cell video, and I did add this up at one point. I'm just going to give you some general thoughts. I think, when I added it up, it was about 20 hours of total video between November of 2022 and December of 2023, and what our intentions was to take from that video just the first 5 or 10 minutes of some of those clips, just because it's pretty mundane, right? I think we had this conversation the other day. We don't want to show them 5 hours of him sitting in his cell.
And you've adjusted 20 hours down to?
I need to do the math, I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't really planning on showing those today.
Oh, so you're not gonna publish these today?
Well, just the camcorder was all I was gonna play.
Publish the camcorder. And I'm concerned with that, because I don't know if there's sound with those camcorders. Anything he's saying would, and that's the other objection, a hearsay objection. That's why I was asking if there's speech between, if it was silent versus if there's audio.
Well, but it's being offered up to show his state of mind, not being offered up to show the proof of the matter, or the truth of the matter.
I understand that.
It's a state of mind issue.
It's still his statements.
Yeah, but it's not. It's accepted from the hearsay rule because it's state of mind.
Not when it's offered by you. You are not the party opponent, they are the party opponent. The objection hearsay, so.
Well, they were also used.
You can show.
For the purpose of medical diagnoses, the doctor said that she.
You can show well, but there's an exception for your stipulation. I saw something in there about medical statements for a medical diagnosis, but you stipulated to that.
Correct. You said with exception to statements made for medical diagnosis.
You can use the video, but the audio you cannot play that is the concern. So if you want to just do the video, you can inaudible, later for the audio inaudible, but the video, I'll inaudible.
We just have to turn the volume down or something. I mean, I can't extract the audio from the video. We can just simply turn the volume down, which seems pretty practical. Why don't?
I would like to mention too, Judge, that this long of a video, that what they're showing on these videos, that they show something different. Do they show the same thing over and over?
I don't know.
I guess least that's my objection.
Well, they could have filed a motion in limine. I gave this stuff to them too, 3 weeks ago at least.
Okay. I mean, at that point, when the video has been played, if the objection is we're getting cumulative, that's the opportunity to do that.
So he's not gonna be able to play, I guess, is the reason you're gonna play it to show his state of mind?
My explanation is that the credibility of Mr. Allen's statements are clearly in question, and the environmental conditions that he was dealing with impact his mental health, which impacts his credibility.
So it's like you're telling me the entire time he's coerced?
No, I didn't say that. Don't try to bait me into a bunch of other stuff. I said when he was at Westville.
Only to Westville. Inaudible.
Well, potentially, but
It's gonna be.
the issue right now is I will allow you to play the video, but just the video at this point, no audio, because it's a statement that's given by a defendant offered by the same.
Well, I think if that's the case, then I would ask for if we recess or pause maybe. I'm not sure what we have going on with other witnesses, because I want to look at it and see what it looks.
Okay.
I don't want to.
So you don't want to play anything today? Or not quite sure?
Yeah, I mean, I'll withdraw. I'm not withdrawing it, but we'll recall him.
Okay. So you've made a motion to admit XX, YY, and ZZ, and the objection to all of it is relevance, which you know the ruling. The other objection is to hearsay, which I'm sustaining on the camcorder video.
Okay, and we may revisit it.
So that would be YY. Oh, that's the sheet.
Yeah, so the video, the thumb drive itself is XX, and it has all of the videos.
It has every video, okay. So and as it relates to all the other, I'll sustain the objection.
Very good. So what do we want to? I mean, I'm not sure. Do we have any witnesses out here?
No.
We don't have anybody. We're going to take an early lunch. We can, obviously. Well, we could probably get Mr. Heath here more quickly than what we'd asked.
Yeah.
Around 11:10 probably by.
'Cause I don't have food for the jury until 12 and it's... Okay. Could you give us maybe just 5 minutes to figure this out? Yes. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Sidebar conference concluded.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a quick recess, rather than have you continue to sit over there waiting. While you're outside the courtroom, please keep your minds open. Please don't form any opinions or conclusions about anything. And you may discuss the evidence, but please, only do that if all 15 of you are present and don't deliberate. Gentlemen.
All rise.
Jury out at 11:10 a.m.
You may be seated. So I'll show that you've made the offer on XX, which is the combined video/audio of the camcorder and the in-cell, and then the master sheets, YY and ZZ. The state has objected on relevance, which I've overruled. The state has then objected on hearsay, which I have sustained. So the audio portion is prohibited, but the video for the time frames that we've discussed, from April to July, would be admissible. And then, I know you've got some witness concerns, so you've got about 15 minutes to figure out where we're at. You may step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You can go off the record, Jody. Be back in 15 minutes.
Off record at 11:12 a.m. On record at 11:30 a.m.
Okay. We are back on the record. Are we ready to proceed, Mr. Rossi?
Judge, yes. May we speak over here at the sidebar, please?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Sidebar conference conducted.
Judge, I think after talking, I think we believe that we have the right to offer up the audio, but we're willing to concede that you've kind of made your ruling on that already.
Affirmative response.
The video, to the extent that it's pertinent, our intention is to offer it up to demonstrate the environmental conditions that existed in Mr. Allen's atmosphere at Westville Correctional Facility, which again, between November of 22, December of 23, and specifically we have confined most of that, certainly with the camcorder video, to April, May, June. There are a couple references on this master list to some video that had been modified in the more recent past. For example, like this one shows its modified 9/9 of 24 camcorder video. I clearly know that that's not Westville. I mean, it's Westville video, but I clearly know that it was created well before this. It's just that it was file stamped as modified because somebody tinkered with it. Do you understand what I mean? Likely somebody moved it.
Tinkered with it.
Well, yeah, I mean in non-technical terms, somebody.
Of April, May, June, and July.
Well, really of November and into December.
November of 22 to December of 23.
As it relates to the environmental conditions. But I would appreciate the court. We're trying to run afoul of opening the door.
Trying not to.
Trying not to? Thank you.
We're trying not to.
Trying not to run afoul of opening the door on all this other stuff. We're being cognizant of that. And yesterday, when we were arguing about, whether or not, when we were debating whether or not we opened the door, the issue was whether or not was he confined to Westville or were we talking about Cass County. And I want to make sure the court's willing to offer up a preliminary ruling so that we know that we're not, gonna open the door for something that's not. If we don't play the audio, we're not gonna open the door for something that's Cass County related. And so, I think that that's a fair request on the court, as long as we stay confined, which is consistent with your words from yesterday.
So this is Westville. We're not talking about Cass.
No. I mean, there's no Cass County video on there. I'm just telling you that. Because these dates are more recent, it just looks like it, but they're not.
Why are his environmental conditions relevant to this matter?
Well, I've described that in great detail earlier. That, certainly the conditions that a man is dealing with has an impact on his mental health, which in turn.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I've already overruled on all these objections and I think it goes to the weight that the jury's gonna give these confessions, rather than the admissibility of the actual video itself, so they're gonna weigh that and they're gonna weigh in the conditions that are seeing as they listen as they
watch them.
Listen previously to the statements.
These times are relevant to those things. The Cass County, inaudible.
Because it's a prior act, what did you say?
Other act.
Other act. They're just putting in another act that has no.
Well, I understand, and I understand what you're saying, and certainly, if we start getting into anything, the statements that he made are confined to this April through June of 23, so if you get outside.
Yeah, I don't really dispute that, and frankly, I don't think we really have anything from post-June.
'Cause if you go post-June 23, then.
Yeah, I don't.
You are opening the door to the state to say, okay. Well, then we would like to get into whatever goes on that video.
Yeah, I don't think that I'm pretty confident in the incel. We stopped in July.
The time is the issue.
I agree, Your Honor, that the time, but there's another issue. They talk about environmental conditions, having them talk about them, when the jury sees selective images of certain time periods that they've chosen to present.
Affirmative response.
The environmental condition, that makes the environmental conditions at issue. We have the other video to show that it's not Westville, that it's happening, that the environmental conditions aren't the driving force of his behavior. That is part of our inaudible.
That's a really fine line and a very fine point with regard to the issue, and I don't know that we're there yet. And we may get there, I don't know, but we don't know that yet. Inaudible.
Yeah.
But remember the questions about inaudible that.
We're.
Well, oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. And we're also concerned about what kind of argument could be made to the jury, arguments about what you're seeing and what you saw, and your emotions. And that's only one picture, and those are accurate images. They're very selective images. And that opened the door to other images that show a different side of Richard Allen.
Affirmative response, and if you call it that, then that, and you inaudible.
Yeah.
They're being presented to show their side of this. You have the video as well, if you want to present your side of it, but I think we need to stay away from Cass County. Yeah. It's the time frame that you've all agreed is not the most relevant to his statements.
Yeah. I appreciate that. One of my concerns is, again, that the only times that we can't say definitively that something's happened, on April 9th of 2023. Because the videos aren't time-stamped.
But you have TIME, you have video from April the 20th.
Yes.
Through and you looked at it.
Yes. I don't want to mislead the court that I'm going to be able to tell anybody a specific time.
No.
We can just tell whatever the tracker.
Generically, June 8th through June 10th.
Yeah, okay.
But we know it's before that.
Yeah.
Is Max gonna be able to testify on how he got the time frames?
Well, again, he's looking by the dates that they were modified. That is if to say that if it was modified on April 9th, and that's the date we got it, then, clearly, it was provided in that time frame. We got these discovery dumps in increments chronologically.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to be, as transparent as I can, but we're working with limited. We're working with what we got. And these were tools that law enforcement was using, too. I think that's
I know.
kind of relevant.
All right. Are we ready to proceed, then?
So we'll just turn the volume down. And I'm going to play down to this video here, 'cause again, I've got a September 9th date on this one that I just don't want to play without us having a chance to look at it.
So are you gonna?
I'm going to stop right here, Nick.
So you're putting Max up back up and you're gonna stop right here, is that?
Yeah, because I just want to be clear that that date is, I'm sure it's still an April, May, June date, but I don't want to play it until we get a chance to look at it over the lunch hour. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Sidebar conference concluded.
All right. Is counsel ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Gentlemen. And counsel, just so you're aware, Jody may have to stand up to see so that, in her notes, she can accurately reflect the timestamp on the video to coincide with the playing.
Oh, okay. All rise.
Jury in at 11:41 a.m.
Thank you. You may be seated.
You may proceed, Mr. Rozzi.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, we were in the process of admitting some exhibits, and what I'm going to do, after our discussion with the court, is offer up XX, which is the thumb drive that contains both the movement or the camcorder video, as well as the in-cell video with some exceptions. May I start with the movement video?
You may.
So there is an entry here, 8 entries down, where it says the IDOC camcorder footage M2U. This is the file number. This is how these things are kind of identified. M2U01014. And that video shows as being modified September 9th of 2024. That's going to be an exception for now.
Okay.
Till we have a chance to make sure we looked at that. And then, the second one would be on the second page. It would be the third entry, M2U01164. That's another one of the accepted files. And then, the third one would be M2U01798. I think all those are from the pertinent time frames, but because of the file marks on them, I want to make sure we can confirm those.
Okay.
And then, I think, Judge, there's a request with the in-cell video, which are reflected on ZZ, the master list. We're just going to ask the court. I'm just going to move to admit those today, because I don't have any intention of playing them today. Maybe give us a little bit more of an opportunity to make sure we're complying with the court's orders.
Okay.
As it relates to admissibility.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you still want me to give her ZZ, the incel list?
Yeah, since it's been offered.
All right. Since I've marked and referenced it? Okay. Thank you. I'm going to need that thumb drive back here in a minute. So?
You may proceed. Are you done with your direct of him?
Well, I didn't know if the state was going to respond to the admission. I was waiting to see.
Oh. Judge, just note the objections we had at the Sediba are that the court should and note those and, Judge, we'll have a continuing objection, I guess under 403 as cumulative, as we get to continued videos. And so the state would like to reserve its right to object once we get past the first video, to make those objections. Or the court could just note the continuing objection, however the court wants to handle it.
I'll note the continuing objection. Unless you have specific objections, you can make those.
Okay.
So XX, which is the video, the zip drive.
Yes.
That you're referring to has been offered, the state has objected. I'll show it admitted over the state's objection. Defendant's Exhibit XX admitted.
And then, Judge, may I publish this master list for the camcorder, which is YY, so the jury can follow along?
I've already ruled that there won't be audio.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, we're going to play it. But I think it might be helpful. I think Max testified it'd be helpful to assist them in following along.
You may.
Judge, are the videos that are being admitted redacted from what's being published to the jury? I don't think it'd be appropriate to publish something to the jury with stuff that's not gonna be which has not been admitted to this point.
I don't believe those have been redacted, have they?
No, I didn't white them out over the break. I guess I can.
You can do that later, you can publish that later, then.
Okay, all right. We'll just show them in raw form, and then, okay, very good. Just because I've forgotten a few of the questions I may have asked earlier, Mr. Baker. So basically, did we compile and combine these camcorder videos while Mr. Allen was at Westville?
Yes.
Okay, and did you make an attempt to keep those limited to the videos that were created in April, May, June of 2023?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay, to the best of your ability, at least based on the information that we were given with the files that we received?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd move to publish. Well, we would just start with the first video. I'm not going to refer to the sheet now, because it doesn't.
Okay.
It has no meaning.
Would counsel approach just up here real quick?
Sidebar conference conducted.
Okay, his answer concerns me, because he said, yeah, mostly. I mean, I specifically said April through June of 23, and you asked him that and he said, yeah, mostly. So does that, I don't know what that means.
I've got a follow-up question, too. Are these the complete videos, or just portions of the videos? Are they just portions of videos?
I think they're the complete videos with the camcorders.
Okay. Okay. I can't tell with the time, so
Yeah.
That's part of the concern I had.
You know, I'm trying to be cognizant of the dates and I don't want him to testify to something that's not, accurate.
Affirmative response.
Would you prefer that we not offer these up? And, I don't know if there's anything else we can do to corroborate the exact date. You know what I mean.
I understand that, but...
We could have some computer scientists come in.
His answer though is, yeah, mostly.
Okay.
That causes me concern.
Yeah.
Is there any way you can narrow it in Is there any way you could narrow it down till I'm not telling you what to do? Just by asking him questions. Any way you could narrow it down?
Yeah, I can do that. If we go back through and watch all these again, we might be able to be more specific. I'm fine. I know I hate to waste time. But this is, we've spent a ton of time doing this trial to make this simple, and I'm willing to, if the court would be more comfortable with me looking at this before I offer it up.
I'm just bringing it up, so if it's not, then we're gonna be stopping it, and out we go.
Yeah,
So okay.
Can I ask him a few questions before we publish it, Judge?
Sure.
Sidebar conference concluded.
You have some preliminary questions, Mr.
Thank you, Judge.
McClelland?
Mr. Baker.
Yeah.
How did you determine what time frame these videos are from?
So we received this discovery, I'd like end of summer, beginning of fall of 2023, so that was the first place I started, everything had to be before then. And I used kind of events and referred back to, reports and watch sheets to confirm, try and get, an accurate impression of when the dates are. And then, like I said before, in the discovery they already provided us ranges, so the videos would be grouped together in a folder entitled April 2023 or something along those lines.
Did you see things in these videos that you were able to confirm that they were from those time frames?
Some of them, yes, I was, with the incel video, that was.
What about the let's focus on the camcorder video? 'Cause that's what we're talking about. That's what Mr. Rozzi's moved to publish today. With the camcorder footage, were there events or timestamps within that video that helped you determine when that video was from?
Yes.
And you were able to see those, or find those in each of the videos that you testified to today?
Not in every single one of them, no.
Do you know which videos that you were able to find markers or timestamps and to determine what time frame the videos were from?
Paul, can I change I answered that last question wrong. I apologize, Mr. McClelland.
That's okay.
All of them were based, I saw the folders at the beginning for all of them, but when you're referring to events in the video, not all of them had events that I was able to corroborate with a report, but I was able to see the folder and the range for all of them, yes.
But within the videos, were you able to confirm when they were from?
No, not all of them.
So you're just basing that on the folder that was labeled as part of the discovery?
Yes.
Okay. And do any of these videos that we're gonna watch come before April?
I don't think so, no.
Judge, may we approach again, please?
You know what, let's just recess.
Okay.
Why don't we do that? We're gonna go ahead and take our lunch break a little bit early, give you a chance to get some food. While you're outside the courtroom, please keep your minds open. Please don't form any opinions or conclusions about anything. You may discuss the evidence that you've heard, but please, only do that if you're all together at the same time, and please, don't deliberate. Gentlemen.
all rise.
Jury out at 11:52 a.m.
You may be seated. All right. So we just need to tighten this up so that we know. I ruled that the video from the cell is April to June of 2023. I have ruled that the camcorder, no audio.
Right.
Because it's his statement and you cannot introduce his statement unless he testifies as a party opponent, April to June of 2023. So with this witness now saying that he's not sure, I'm not willing to let you publish until we know for sure whether or not that's the timeframe that we are referencing. So,
Judge, I appreciate the court's candor in that regard. We're dealing with what we were given by the state.
I understand.
And there are some limitations to that, and I'm sorry that we've tried to do the best we could to accommodate the court. I do think some additional time would be helpful. We can go back through and look at the file numbers, because they were chronologically numbered.
Okay.
Even though there's no time with them, and we got the stuff the way we got it, and we had no control over it, we might be able to use those chronological numbers also to bookend
Okay.
the dates of these, so I think that might be a wise exercise before we publish, and I appreciate your allowing us to do that.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank you.
How long, we're not gonna be in recess indefinitely. The jury went out for lunch, they're gonna have their lunch, and we're gonna reconvene at 1 o'clock. I don't know if you want to just recess Mr. Baker, and get him off the stand and do this at another time, and proceed with the balance, whatever witnesses you have available, but we need to use the time that we have expeditiously with this jury.
I think that would be the wise thing to do, is just recess with him.
Okay.
And then we'll revisit.
All right. So we'll revisit that at a later time, and we'll be in recess until 1 for lunch.
Thank you, Judge.
Off record at 11:54 a.m. On record at 1:06 p.m.
All right. We are back on the record. Is the defense ready to have the jury brought back in?
We are, Judge.
State.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
All rise.
Jury in at 1:08 p.m.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are ready to continue. Mr. Baldwin, Mr. Rozzi.
Mr. Rozzi.
You may call your next witness.
Call Brad Heath, Your Honor.
Witness sworn.
May I?
You may.
Good afternoon, Mr. Heath. State your name, please.